So today we have Krisha Shah with us. She's from Mumbai and I'm a student. Her profile is very impressive. She is a Mumbai topper with 99.2%. She is from an NM college and secured 97% in NM. She likes her extracurricular activities include Bharatnatyam, drawing, and singing. She's very passionate about content creation, and her motto in life is stay hungry, stay foolish. Her goal is a short-term, goal is completing her MBA, and a long-term is helping business by working as a management consultant. Krisha, can you please switch on the camera and just say hi to our students? Great, thank you, Krisha.
Hi everyone, I'm excited to be here.
Great. We also have Okay. We also have Ishan with us with his cute little photo. So he's also from Mumbai. He's from AVM Juhu. His 10th standard percentage was around 97.4. Again from NM College. 12th standard, he scored around 94.6. He is very inclined towards badminton, judo, debate, Olympiads, and courses from Coursera. His passion is traveling, and his motto is just be yourself. Uh, and his goal is to become happy even in the smallest things of life, and going out of way and helping people to be a good human is what he believes in. So, Ishan, can you please switch on the camera and say hi to the students?
Hi everyone, I'm Ishan.
Hello. Thank you so much, Ishan, for joining in. Krisha, it will be nice if you can actually keep the camera on, so it will be easier for everyone to kind of, they would be able to relate better. Okay. So thank you again. And before we start with the event, let me kind of give you a heads up. We would have a lot of questions. These are the students who have actually received, calls from IIM Rohtak. Also, there are a lot of students who are very excited and would be appearing for IP Maths next year, for IIM Rohtak, or for any IIM specifically. So a lot of questions. Now, what I want to start from with both of you is from the start, as in how was your journey? Starting with ladies first. Krisha, you are a Mumbai topper, in terms of your 10th scores. So how was your journey with IPM? The rigor, which I see with students who have actually cracked IPMAT, or who have received calls from IIM Indore, Rohtak, it's a different level of rigor. So how was your experience?
So you want me to explain the first 2 years, like the 11th and 12th, and how I got into?
Sure, please go ahead.
So yeah, after the 12th standard, I was a bit confused as to what I wanted to go into as science or commerce, and that's when I came across IPM, and I found it as a very interesting course, which is a blend of all the three. Like it has subjects from all prospects. So I decided to start preparing for it. So it was that my father went to IMS and he like got my admission over there. And since then, for the first 6 months, since you're in NM college, you have a lot of things to do. So it's packed with assignments and work to do. And also the best part about this is extracurriculars. So when you have that happy moments going on, the studies go a little backside. But it was when the lockdown began, like in February or something, and we were done with our 11th examinations. So we were not going to have our finals at all, and there was a lot of time till 12th would have started. So that's when I decided, okay, maybe I have missed a lot of classes. I didn't go to a lot of classes, but there was the best part about this was they had recorded lectures also. So I started with that, and then they started getting they started scheduling classes for Saturday and Sunday. The best part is to attend all of these. So I rigorously attended all of these. I didn't miss any of those. Then when we moved and they also they have made chunks of the modules. So module 1 has some easier, then module 2 will have like difficult, and module 5 is the most difficult, which I think the HSC students need to work upon. So what I felt like, if I have 2 hours to attend this particular session, then maybe this session is not going to come again. So if I'm going to hear this for the first time, then it's going to be a little difficult. So I put a preparation of 2 hours before that to read from a book of what is going to be taught, and I made notes of that. And when sir started teaching, it was better to solve the questions. And the best part that sir did was he used to take names. Okay, maybe this person has gotten the right answer. So when there's somebody to point out that you're going in the right direction, it reinforces. So you feel like, okay, I want to attend the class, I want to solve, and I want to get my name called also, because that reinforces. So 2 years went by like that only. And then we didn't have 12th board also. So best thing that worked for us that we didn't have college, we were at home only. And I put in an effort of 1 to 2 hours in a day to study for this. And after that, when boards were actually cancelled, then you have to put in a lot of hours, like up do the books, go on solving the mock tests and analyzing the mock tests. So,
Okay. It was quite a journey. 2 hours before the class, you were actually opening the book and kind of studying. Wow. Amazing. What about you, Ishan? I would like to know
Yeah.
how was your journey?
Even for me, the moment my 10th standard board exams they ended, like I was really free. So my dad, he just saw the IPM program and he told me, do you want to join over here? So I told him, okay, I'll join. I'm anyways free. So that's how I started my IPM journey. And like I started preparing for these competitive exams. But for me, as Krisha said, like when you're in NM, the first 6 months are really hectic. So NM, it started in August, but like the program when I had joined it, it started from May. So from May to August, since I was really free, I had finished a major chunk of all the textbooks. So like I used to take it really easy. And yeah, I used to like focus on my mock tests and like continuously analyze what I've got wrong. And then after that, the lockdown came. And in that, we had online recorded lectures. So I used to mostly see the recorded lectures. And in case I had any doubts regarding any question, I went to my sir and I asked him, how do I go about with this? And yeah, Krisha took 2 hours. I have done an hour in a week. I studied only for an hour in a week. And yeah,
Okay.
I think if you like give that 1 hour properly with proper dedication, you can manage.
You cannot expect anything else from a Mumbai topper just before the class starts. He actually starts preparing 2 hours early. But the outcome of this list for all the 23 students is that if you are religiously following your schedule and the rigor is continued, okay, you would be able to crack it. But the rigor needs to be there. आज है, कल नहीं, वो नहीं चलेगा. And that is the fact, which I see in students who have actually cracked IP Math this year, JIP Math this year, that there has to be that constant rigor. Consistency is the key. Okay, and moving to the next question. Okay, so when you did the call, I think it's this is something which will be a very exciting part for all the call getters here. Okay, uh, how was the experience after getting the call? What exactly happened? Did you receive calls from any other IIMs as well, or was it like the only one IIM Rohtak? Starting again, Kushaf, with you.
so I guess since most of us, our first target is going to be IIM Bengal only, and then we'll focus on these exams. So I think Indoor's call was 1 day back, and I was rejected that I could not make it. But I knew that the exam was also like that only. So Indoor's exam, I knew it, like I was not going to make it on the exam day itself. And then I made a mindset that, okay, just because one exam went bad, I still have another one that I can go with a very fresh mind and start all over again. Like you don't have to study 1 day before the exam, you just need the right mindset. And that's what I went with. I was like, okay, I don't know if I'm going to go into this college or no, but just give a good exam. And I made it like I made it to the first round, and we had a preparation time of about 15 days until we could start for the interviews also. So I prepared for the interviews as well. And as people say that interviews don't need your that much attention, no, it's wrong. I think preparing for the interviews is even harder than the actual exam because it's a completely new experience. That's the first time you're going to be appearing, and it's an IIM interview. So it's not like the other interviews that you give for your college fest or anything. It's different. It has 4 parts that we'll talk about later. But it's an exciting experience. And for other IIMs, I think GIPMAT was a bit late after the IIM Rohtak admission was also confirmed. So I got into Jammu. These are the 2 IIMs.
Great. What about you, Ishan?
Yeah, so even for me, IIM Indore was my first preference, but then like they have the sectional cutoff, so I couldn't make it through the verbal ability section, but through quants I made it through. And the next day I got my Rohtak results and I was on cloud 9, and I was like, at least one of them I've got a call. And then after that, Ranchi was also there through IIM Indore marks. So over there also I got through, and even for JIP Mat, I had got my percentile as 99.67. So for that also, I think I would have got into any of those IIMs also. Like there's an
Very
option,
nice.
one of them.
No, but when it comes to IIMs, the choice of IIM Indore is very obvious.
Yeah.
Now, let's ask our students, why do you feel IIM Indore is the first choice? Let's see. I mean, they are all looking at IPM. Somebody have received a call. Can you use the chat box and tell me why IIM Indore is the first choice? There is a major difference. Ranked higher. Very good. Yes, sir. It is ranked higher. But also, I'll tell you the reason for it. Okay, IIM Indore has been doing IPM for almost now, it's been a decade. Okay, the kind of packages what you rank 7th. This is definitely a Google answer part. Thank you so much. You have Googled it. So IPM Indore has been running for almost a decade. IIM Rohtak, it's launched in 2019. Yes, it is a very good college, true. But because of IPM being, these are IIM Rohtak is the one who is, I think, second IIM who actually started with IPM. And that is the reason IIM Indore, because it has that legacy. People prefer IIM Indore anytime better in terms of ranking, in terms of the legacy the program has, in terms of the reputation, absolutely, the faculty is absolutely. However, even IIM Rohtak, it's been there in the running for almost 3-4 years now. And moving on to the interview part. Thank you so much for participating in this particular question thing. That was very, very nice. And interview part. Okay, can I get a raise of hand for all the students who have received an IIM Rohtak call? Can I just get a raise of hands? Only one? Nobody have received a call for interview from IIM Rohtak apart from Parth. Vedika have received a call. A raise of hand, just a raise of hand. Okay, just one. Okay, Parth, I think this would be something you would be able to relate, very strongly. Krisha, what was your preparation for, you have completed your interview. Great. Parth have already completed the interview. That's great. So how was the experience, Krisha, when it comes to your interview was concerned? Was it grilling?
No, as in, so every exam has a different interview process. So mostly it will be the same, but like always, like there's QA, VA, and LR, but some exams will have just QA and VA. In that sense, like Rohtak interview is structured into 4 or 5 parts. The first, it starts with an extempore question, which is a simulating experience of a group discussion kind of question, but you yourself have to speak upon it for 1 or 2 minutes. So you can give your analysis. You can also counter it with some other points, and then you have to pose your own like your viewpoint towards the same. So my question was, do deadlines obstruct creativity? So you get a preparation time of about 30 to 45 seconds. And after that, you have to start speaking. Then the next part of the interview goes on basic HR questions of who you are. And sometimes we just take these questions for granted as well. But when it's asked in an interview, you need the right sense of spark to ignite in the mind of the interviewer. So if you just go on speaking about your family history or what you did in which college you went into, that will be kind of good. But you need those wow elements in your introduction as well, because that's the first thing that you're going to say, and you need the interviewer to be interested because he's going to take about 10 to 20 interviews in that day. So you have to stand out basically. And these will include your strengths, weaknesses, why IPM. You have to be clear. Even though you don't want to get into college and you have a better, like if you have your IIM or interview lined up, you still have to speak about the IPM course and how Rohtak specifically is going to help you do that course. Then the third is your academic questions, which I think is the most important part. So when you go for a job interview, they'll be asking most upon your skills. But when you go for a college, they want to see if you're disciplined as a student. So they ask you questions from your 11th and 12th, and the best part would be to at least open your mouth and say something, because they want to know that. And it's not like if you're from commerce, they'd ask you questions from science. Whatever stream that you're in, you'll just be asked questions from those itself. And the last part is current affairs and GK, which most of us will not do right now because we are not doing GLAT or anything, and it's not important. So why to do it? So it's okay even if you ignore it, but before 6 months of approaching your exam, even if you don't want to read the newspaper per se, just download apps in your phone, Jagran, Josh, or any, and be ahead of the news. Like you should have something to talk about, whatever is going on, like at that point of time. So I think during our time, we had Pegasus software issue. So we should know something to talk about it. Yeah, that's basically it.
Great. Ishan, how about your experience?
So if you'll compare the 15 days prior preparation to the exam and 15-day prior preparation to the interview was way more. Like it requires a lot of preparation, and it is one part, if you do it really well, you can consider yourself in a way in the program.
True.
And because you know your 10th scores and you really even know how well your paper's gone. So it is one thing which can change the entire selection procedure of that person. So you have to actually prepare questions like who are you and what are you doing? Like you cannot sit over there last minute thinking and making an answer in your brain. And the main thing over there is that when you'll be asked questions and all the other things related to the interview, you need to make sure that you stand out like amongst all of the other interviews. So like the best thing about you talk about your best things, your abilities, what are you good at, your skills. And another thing, they also sometimes ask for your certificates. If you talk about anything, like I've done something in badminton, so I had to make sure that all my certificates were next to me. And yeah, then they like tell you to screen share your 10th marks and all that to do a verification. And yeah, my extempore topic was on cybercrime. And yeah, they give you 30 minutes, 30 seconds to prepare for it. And yeah, you cannot have mixed opinions. It has to be only one side. And yeah, you clearly say what you prefer and what you don't over there.
Great.
And even they then ask you, what's your favorite subject? What are you doing? So I had told maths, and they like made me solve an integration and derivation problem over there and asked for the answer. And another thing, so like when I was screen sharing my 10 documents, they happened to see a book which was on my desktop, and it was a really impromptu question, and they suddenly asked me, what's the name of the author of that book? And over there, yeah, I knew the storyline of the entire book. The book's name was The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. And
now you will definitely not forget the book name.
Yeah, now I will not forget it. And yeah, I even I didn't know the author's name, and then I freaked out. And then after that, I was like, I don't know it. But then there were other places I did really well. So you have to just make sure you're in that right frame of mind and not become like really hyper. Like keep yourself calm and poised.
This is very interesting, but something which is very highlighting here, when I'm listening to both of you in regards with the PI, okay, one thing I'm sure everybody who is looking at applying for IIM would be aware that it's not going to be a cakewalk. Okay. Uh, just clearing the exam would not really mean that you have reached the your journey is ended there. Okay, that's from there, because it's ideally a filtration round. Your PI is not a filter round. Okay, your filter round actually, because if so many, I think more than 3,000 students apply for IPM programs in IIM. Okay, they cannot be selecting and doing PI with everyone. Hence, this particular test is something which is there to make sure they filter the students. And when you get an option for a PI, You need to be prepared way before you actually sit on that particular chair and you give the interview. You need to be prepared in terms of your GK, in terms of what you speak, and you need to portray yourself as the true person you are. वहाँ पे छापा नहीं मार सकते, fake नहीं सकते, because if you do, they will actually make sure that they are counter questioning on that. Parth is asking about, yes, we are coming to the campus culture. We are coming to that. Okay. Uh, that will be something which will be in the next section, because now we have kind of gotten to the IPM. Now the next question is that once, how was your first year experience in regards with how was the academic rigor going on? Okay, Ishan, this time first you.
Oh, the program is really rigorous. We've got 63 disciplines which we have to cover in 3 years, and that is 21 a year. And it's a trimester system. So like every term we've got 7 disciplines which we have to do, and like every subject has a compulsory credit. So you cannot goof up with any of the subjects. And like it's counted in your CGPA. It's based on a percentile system, not percentage. So it depends on how the others also score. And another thing I would like to add is that the attendance, there are a lot of attendance issues. And if you miss classes and like if you like get more than 2 absents in any subject, you like will get an F in that grade, in that subject. So it's another repeat for that subject. So you have to be like attending your classes. It is not time pass. This is what I would like to say. And then currently our 3rd term, it got over in June, and like from June to August 8, we have our rural internship with an NGO. And like in the 3rd term, we have 6 subjects, and a credit is for your internship. You have to write a detailed report.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll ask you a little bit more questions on the on the internship part, but so IIM Rohtak have trimester system, and there are 63 subjects which you will be doing, and 21 in a year.
Yeah.
Right. So how is the coursework? The courseware which has been given to you?
The courses, like we have subjects which cover all fields. Like we have sociology, we have philosophy, we have psychology, we have law, we have introduction to programming, introduction to IT systems, and at the same time we'll also have subjects like introduction to business organization management, microeconomics, macroeconomics. These are just to name a few, but there are 21 in total for every year. And like next year we've got foreign languages also. So it is a really tough and tough curriculum, and you require a lot of hard work to do each of these subjects.
The rigor is pretty high.
We've got even calculus. Like
calculus. Wow.
Yeah.
I'll explain a bit more over here.
Yes, please go ahead, Kusha.
So the IPM program is constructed in such a way that they want you to become socially conscious managers. So in all the years, there are going to be different kind of subjects, and they want that particular ability to get instilled in you while you're studying those subjects. So in the first year, there are mostly disciplines of arts, because they want, like I said, they want that socially conscious ability to be filled inside you, and you should have that vision when you see a particular problem. You should get that instinctively as to how can I solve this, and that is marked by the end of the social internship as well. So you can put to use everything that you've learned in the first year. So we didn't have a lot of business related topics in the first year. There were only 1 or 2, which was economics and business management. Most of it was on the science side, was on the social science side. Okay. And for it's basically like a lot of subjects to find your own niche. And this is why most of the people go into IPM, because you get exposure to a lot of subjects which a normal BBA would not be able to give. And wasting your 3 years into understanding what is not the right fit for you is a bit too long. So when you're learning side by side, I realized that I was very good at economics, statistics. And when I was in 11th and 12th, I thought that maybe sociology and philosophy, these are not my cup of tea, and I would not like this. Maybe I thought Python would be, I would like Python more, but it's actually the opposite. So it's like you find your own self, and it's rigorous, but if you start enjoying it and see if you see that there's going to be a beautiful outcome towards the end of the 5 years, then it's going to be a cakewalk. It's basically how you set your mindset throughout these 5 years. It's an IIM. They're not going to give you a degree with no efforts. That's it.
Great. Now, just to add a little bit there, okay, IIM Rohtak and other IIMs actually work on a different functionality, or possibly what we call a curriculum, okay, which is called liberal arts. So that is the reason why you would have all these subjects, kind of. So normally with the BBA structure, you would have certain set of subjects what you learn, okay, which would require you to focus on those subjects, while liberal arts open a buffet for you, okay. It actually requires, or it's kind of just ask you to do each and every subject, where you explore which one would you like. Okay, so you would have that particular curriculum, because of which you are kind of trying your hand on each and every one, experiencing new subjects. Possibly you would have not really kind of, you're never inclined towards it, never kind of, read about it, but you are actually doing it because that's the kind of curriculum which IIM Rohtak and, even Jammu and Ranchi kind of follows. That is actually very interesting in terms of your rigor, in terms of the kind of hours you put in every day. Okay, how exactly that has been? What is the kind of hours you guys really put in? Krisha, from you, I'm expecting some real high numbers. How many hours do you study in a day? Because 21 subjects in a year is definitely a little too much. So, how many hours do you study every day?
So the day goes like first and second term were a bit too rigorous because there were 7 subjects. Then the third term, there were 2 points. There were 6 subjects only, so they used to get over faster because there's 20 lectures which we do not have to do now. And most of the subjects were already covered in the first and second term. So which means there was only one new subject to learn. Other than that, it was just a repetition. So I think the third term was very chill, but the first 2 terms were, first of all, you're put into a class where there are toppers from all the schools around. So now you have to, first you were the topper in your own school and you were the star of your class. Now it's no more. There are only 2 to 3 people speaking, and you're filled with a lot of insecurity because sometimes you feel like I don't know much to speak in the class, or maybe I'm not able to speak right now. I'll just go home and study. So there are there are like what this class participation component, which is calculated as to how much you speak, and your teacher is going to grade you on that.
Okay.
So you get marks for speaking also. So our day started with giving quizzes, which was about, I think 7 to 8, we had quizzes of the previous day of whatever we had learned. Then we have classes from about 8:45 in the morning to, I'd say, 5:20 in the evening. And there's about 2 hours break. So there are on an average 3 to 4 day classes, 3 to 4 hour classes in a day. And then this goes on for 1.5 months, and then you have a midterm. So midterm is kind of a unit test. You go for that. There are 2 papers in a day. Then again, this pattern goes on for 1.5 months, and then there's an end term, which is like a semester end exam, and there'll be 7 days holidays after that, and then your next term starts after that. So I think in a day you have to put about 5 to 7 hours. Other than that, if you want to put in your own study time. So the best part, I think, was what worked out for me, which would not work out for someone else. Since it's online, most people run away. But I think that if I sit in the class and listen and make notes like on the go, my job of working afterwards is just reduced.
Absolutely.
So I can use that time into building something that I want, or maybe learning up something apart from the colleges. So there's also a lot of upskilling going on around. Like when you're in IIM, you see others getting cool internships. So you feel like, okay, I really need to start so that maybe in future, even I can get something like that.
Okay, this is interesting. Now, moving away from the academics, no, just one question actually. Is there a preferred subject for Ishan? Ishan, any preferred subject? Something which you find it difficult, something which you felt was good
Yeah,
enough or
so
interesting?
calculus, the way we were taught was like really confusing, and like till 12th, the calculus which we had was like really basic. So differential calculus we had in our first term. That was what I found the most tough one out of all. And a subject which I thought would have been really tough, which was sociology, I found it really easy. So yeah, because for sociology, like it was just a read through and you just pay little attention in the class, you understand all the concepts easily. And our professor was really good for sociology.
Great. What about you, Krisha? What was a subject which was really like a nightmare and something which you really liked?
I think statistics, um, we had the subject in all the three terms, and in the first term only we were taught like 20 lectures in 20 days, which was kind of new. But then I thought of studying those before the exam, and most of the people skipped. So I think that is what helped me ahead also. And I've just realized that whatever one subject that you're interested in, it opens a lot of fields for you in the future. So just by learning statistics in this particular month, like we had a vacation or an internship period, I ventured into data analytics, which uses a lot of statistics, and I'm kind of interested in that.
Okay, great. We would be kind of just making sure that my questions are kind of, I'm compressing them because I am getting a lot of questions already in the Q&A box. Okay, so quick question on internships. Okay, uh, are you kind of looking out for your own internships, as you both said that there is rural internships what you both doing? So are you supposed to look out for it yourself, or is it something which the university helps you with?
Actually, the internships, you can choose any city, but it's us only who has to find it. So like currently we were at home only, like we didn't go to the campus. So I chose something in Mumbai only. You might be knowing this place, NGO called CRY, Child Rights and You.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm currently interning over there as a market research person. Yeah.
And how exactly has your experience been with it?
Oh, currently it's been really nice. And yeah, every day is a new thing. You like learn everything new. And yeah, I've never worked at an NGO before.
So,
So
what exactly is the motive of the internship, if may I ask?
okay, so when this is a rural internship, you don't get any payment over here.
True, absolutely.
Yeah. So over here, you like understand like my place, the NGO, it like deals with children, underprivileged children. So sometimes like I go to the office over there, and over there I go out with my friends also. So like I have other friends also who are interning over there. One of her, like she's like arranging those events where like those underprivileged children go for screening to PVR and all, and they meet celebrities. So over there, it's another exposure only altogether. And yeah, I had this completely different notion of NGOs and all, and it's completely changed. And yeah, everything has a lot to learn from. Yeah.
Great. And how about you, Krisha? Where are you interning, and how is the experience for you?
Yeah. So uh, it just said that you have to do an internship at an NGO, but what field you decide, that is up to you. So some of us have taken content writing, some of them are in graphic design, like Ishan is doing in secondary research, and I wanted to go into field work. So mine was like, it's not mostly based on the computer or doing your job, or like looking at the computer. I'm interning at UMeet. So we are given tasks that we are supposed to do in a week. So my first task would be was to uh, chart out hygiene and marketing and sales tips for the street vendors. So those are like in your locality, but how they present themselves is a different point, and why would somebody come to them and not the others? So I consulted them on those topics. The next one was like another example was that I made modules for financial explanations to the slum children. So most of us have been taught like money is a topic that we should refrain from, and we can keep it to our parents only. And why should we engage in such conversations like going to the bank or what's a debit card and credit card? And since like while I'm in IIM, and I so these things have been taught to me in this year only. And it's important that we start talking about these in the very former years itself. So I took classes for them. Yeah.
Wow. Wow, there's a lot of questions coming on the internship aspect, but once I start with the Q&A box, I want to make sure that before that I am done with my, my questions, because then we can definitely open the floodgate for all the questions. Okay. Uh, you guys have not really been on the campus yet, right? So this year you would be joining the campus, right? Uh, there is a lot of questions which is happening in regards with both of you coming from the metropolitan city. Uh, this is something which actually Parth have also asked in the chat box, that how exactly uh, you know Rohtak as a city is, because it's right on the highway. I have actually taken like a little video. I've seen a little video yesterday on IIM Rohtak campus, and it's right like on the highway. There's nothing in front of the gate. Looks like it's in a very outskirts of the city. So have you interacted with seniors? What exactly is the feeling, or what exactly you hear in terms of the campus life is concerned?
Actually, a few of our friends, like we had an option of going to the campus, but I didn't go. Even Krisha didn't go. Some of them they went, and like as you said, yeah, the place opposite is like all barren, and like inside the campus, it's a 200-acre campus.
Yes.
Yeah, even though it may sound like it's 200 acres, but like there's a lot of barren land also over there. Like all the productive things, like they have this research center, then like they have a lot of sports facilities also inside. So Monday to Friday or Saturday, I would say, like you like completely be busy with your lectures. You won't get time to roam around, and you have to finish your assignment. So like now when we'll be going in August, like they've like also told ki you can go to Delhi on the weekends, and like, but you need to come back at a particular time. So yeah, it is around an hour from Delhi, but yeah, it's not that big an issue, even though it is like a village. But yeah, you are with your friends, I mean, you'll enjoy only.
Compared to Mumbai, yes. I mean, it will be a difficult one, but yes. I mean, see, if you are kind of spending that kind of time there, the outcome would definitely be very great. It will be a good outcome. So, apart from that, in terms of culture, have you heard anything about culture? Have you, because Parth has given the interview, okay, and he definitely, we'll keep our fingers crossed he receives the call and he gets selected. But how exactly is the campus culture? Krisha.
You take it or I'm taking it.
It's okay, I'll make it easy. Krisha, go ahead.
I think I won't be able to answer this because we've not been on the campus.
Campus, okay. What about you, Ishan? Have you heard any stories? Have you interacted with
Yeah, I've
people?
heard that. Yeah, they're like pretty rigorous. Even the wardens over there, you have to shut your lights, get up early for yoga in the morning, and yeah, a very disciplined life. This is what I've heard. But at the same time, the friends who've gone over there, they told that they've enjoyed a lot also. Even though it was so strict, they got to spend time with their peers like 24/7. So they were really happy. I mean,
Totally.
they've run like they're not at home. Mom, dad aren't there, so you can do everything according to yourself. That's what they were saying. But yeah.
Okay. So next year, if you're in the campus and Parth is there, do you guys kind of, I mean, have you heard about something kind of ragging being happening or something?
No, there is no
No,
rag.
na?
No.
Parth, all good.
Yeah, they have strict measures of discipline against ragging and all. So we
Okay.
have a proper academic handbook in which all these penalties are there.
And strict means strict. So like if something happens, I think we'll be out of the program.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not just written, you'll actually be out of the program.
Okay. So Parth, you're definitely going to be safe. So he's saying that he's from NM College itself. Okay, and he's got selected for NMIMS and interviewed for Rohtak, and he's confused now. Good choices, per se. Absolutely good choices. I am Rohtak and NMIMS, both are good in its own world, IIM world and the BBA world. Okay. We can definitely Parth connect on this and possibly speak about it. Now, let me kind of ask you, on the extracurricular aspect, we have question coming in regards with to what extent your extracurricular activities sway the interview decision. Is it like a profile of a student which has been looked at for IIMs?
So
yeah. I
Ishan,
think, yeah. So your extracurriculars, they play a major part in your selection procedure. And like the moment you sit in front of your panelists, the first thing they look at you is your 10th marks, which they already have, but they'll still see it. And they obviously see your extracurriculars first. And after that, then they'll give you their extempore topic and all that. And then they form an opinion. But like if you have good extracurriculars and all, yeah, you've cleared the first battle.
So the key here is that if you are looking at IIM, if you're looking at ITM as a program with IIM, your profile has to be built up. Start from now, 23 students who have joined in, start from now, look out for internships. A lot of, there is one question on internship as well, and how do you find it? Okay, but these are something that you would be able to kind of get it. If you Google it, you would be able to kind of find. So try looking out for, options in terms of how you can build your profile. That will definitely help you. And Nidhish, I hope that has answered your question. We have one more question asking that how can we better our vocabulary, kind of advanced English? What were your strategies? So basically in terms of communication skills, how we can better our communication skills. Who would like to go first?
I'll go first. For me, so when you're solving questions again and again, I think IMS is vocabulary builder, where they have a book only on, I think the first part is root words, and the latter part is lots of about 1,500 fill in the blanks. So I practice from that only. And there are a lot of apps also that you can look into. But when people say that you should read newspapers and then like underline the words that you didn't understand, that's kind of a bigger, like I don't think that worked out for me. The point is practice a few words in a day, and try to inculcate those words in your normal conversations. So I used to speak to my friends like in 2 to 3 days every day, and like it happens that they also were preparing for the IPM. So it started as a flex of using vocabulary, but then they used to use good words, and then it's just kind of a tricking one another. Say, okay, you use this word which was nice, I'll Google upon it, and then the next day I used to come up with 2 new words. So make it as an interesting thing, and then you will get it.
Great. How about you, Ishan? I mean, when
Yeah.
it comes to communication?
Yeah, actually, English was never a tough subject for me also. Like even when I was in my 10th, I had like stood first all over India in English. And like vocab IMS books are enough. Like utna karoge to ho jayega tumhara kaam. And yeah, so the thing is that now like you all are about to go into 23. So like start like conversing with each other in English, and like try to reduce your usage of Hindi, and I mean that'll do the job. And yeah, as Krisha said, some people they like, prefer reading books and all. I never liked reading books and all, or even newspapers. But yeah, IMS book about those 1,500 words, the vocab, the root words, and all. Yeah, that obviously helped me.
Apart from one book, The Monk Who Sold His
Yeah,
Ferrari.
the monk who sold the Ferrari.
Good one. Okay. So the key here when it comes to communication is concerned, if you're looking at increasing your communication, definitely what Krisha said would really work. Start looking out for new words. If you find a book, read the word. If you don't know a word, start looking out for a meaning. And the very next day, try to frame try talking or using that particular word in your conversation. It will kind of once it will be a little, you would find it a little awkward because we are not used to using such heavy words. But once you start practicing it, practice is the key. Once you start practicing it, it will start coming out very naturally and you would not really feel that awkwardness. Okay, so practice is the key. I hope that has answered the question for Lubhanshu. Otis is asking question, how many hours they study the entrance exam, how they manage both of them. Yeah, so now we have a lot of students now with us who are actually would be appearing for the 23, and how many hours for the preparation time. I think you have answered that question, if I remember, with the start. So Otis, just to kind of, reiterate what they actually mentioned in the start of the conversation, religiously, if you are spending 2 hours in terms of preparing for what exactly would be taught to you in terms of your coaching class, when you're kind of connecting with the IMS classes, it will kind of help you to kind of prepare yourself better. 2 hours daily, but the rigor should be there, specifically for the IPM. It has to be consistent. That I hope that has answered your question. Am I right, Ishan, Krisha? That's what you both mentioned, right? Yeah.
Like Risha said 2 hours a day.
Sorry.
Yeah, 2 hours actually is a lot. But I mean, if you have to manage everything together, if you like keep aside 3 to 4 hours a week and like do focus on maths more, like English, you can still manage somehow. Like, but
Okay.
just leave those books which IMS gives you. Like, give an hour for for English, and your remaining 3 hours should be on maths. Like, focus on maths.
Maths, maths, and maths. I mean, people like me who are mathematically challenged, if you feel that maths is challenge, kindly spend more time on maths. And if you feel English or communication is a challenge, spend a little bit more time on English. Look out what is your strength, where you need to kind of, you can kind of give a little bit okay kind of attention, but where you feel that needs a lot of attention, make sure you give that particular attention there. Okay. Now, moving to the next question, we have Yosana, only term-wise exams or semester-wise of 21 subject also. So she's asking if you have only term-wise or you have semester-wise as well.
Yeah, so we had got 7 subjects in the first term, right? So for those 7 subjects, like we had midterms and the unit test exams, and for the same 7 subjects, we also had our end terms. And then when we went to the next semester, the subjects changed. So
Okay.
that's the way the 7 moved around.
Okay. I did mention, okay, is it one vacation a year? Part is getting, part wants to move to vacations. It's one vacation a year to come back home.
7 days, like after 3 months, and then 1 or 2 months directly. So one will be 2 months, and the others will be 7 days that you can
So
go.
just to give an example, if you go in August, so August, September, October. So in October, end of October, you get 1 week away from the campus.
No, no,
And
no.
after 3 months, again, then
No, it's not that way. So like in August when we joined, our course started on September, on September 3rd. So our
okay,
midterms, they were held in October, like around October 15 to 19. And our final exams, they ended on December 1. So from December 1 to December 8 or December 10, we had our 7-day vacation. After that, the next day, our SEM 2 started. So after each semester's end, you get those 7 days.
okay. So after the year is over, then you get 2 months, correct?
Yeah, that's also
Yes,
actually for internship.
for
Okay,
internship,
for
and then you get a
internship.
20-day holiday apart from the internship. So our internship is going to get over on 8th, and there's a holiday period till 20th.
Okay, okay. Vedika's dad is with us and he's asking, how did you balance your HSC and these management examination preparation? Now, that is something which, I'm sure, a lot of students would want to know. You guys have given a little glimpse of it, but if you can kind of just, answer this particular question, that would be really great. Starting with Ishan, go ahead.
Okay, to be really honest, HSC is not really taxing as compared to other boards like ISC or CBSE. So I was in ICSE till 10th, and the moment I entered HSC, the marking scheme and all will be like really harsh on you. But the subjects, we've got only 6, which are English, Hindi, OC, and this accounts and eco. So if you like pay attention on your maths, accounts has to go for classes, like for private classes, and like slowly and gradually, if you pay small attention like to all these subjects, like you can divide it as first 5 days, like Monday to Friday, just focus on these subjects. And if your college is also on Saturday, yeah, do it for those 6 days. And on Sunday, you can do IMS's preparation, and yeah, and give the mock tests also. So that was the way I was managing mine.
Okay. What about you, Krisha?
So yeah, for some people, if a schedule works out for you, it's like I don't want to look at IPM at all for the first 5 days, then be it. But it's just that I like solving questions. So it was not like I was preparing. It was just like, okay, I like doing this, and 2 hours was not like I didn't take it as 2 hours. It was like, okay, I've decided one particular topic. So I'll do this until I don't get over like with the topic. So if it takes 1 hour, then good. If it takes 3 hours, then sit for 3 hours to complete it. So you don't have to prepare for it like every day. You can take alternate days or 3 days in a week, whatever works out for you. But it's manageable. Set your goals right. So if you want to get into NMIMS and you're going to be okay with being in NMIMS and like you're just saying that I want to give IPM just for the sake of it, then you can just focus on your goals. But because NMIMS you can crack in 2 months also after your boards if you put in every day's effort, but IPMs will require you full. So set your goals right, and everybody will have different. For me, I knew that I didn't want to go into NMIMS.
So I hope, sir, this has answered your question. Again, if Vedika is looking at IPM, the point is that every day there has to be a rigor where if she's actually aiming at IPM, the rigor needs to be consistent. If NPAT is the goal, okay, then possibly in the 2 months, I'm sure she would be able to prepare for NPAT. However, the rigor and the constant, the mock test which has been provided from IMS, solving them definitely kind of helps the student to understand where do they stand. So focus on mock test. Everybody who's actually going for the 23 year for IPM for NPAT, please make sure mock tests are taken seriously. This will definitely going to help you. And moving to the next question, Ruthvi was asking, how will we search for our internship? I mean, that was very worrisome question. कैसे करेंगे, कैसे internship ढूंढेंगे? So how did you kind of find internship on your own, Ishan?
Yeah, so I was in Mumbai only and I wanted an internship in Mumbai. So I just checked Google, like which are the good NGOs in Mumbai. I mean, everyone does that only. There's no such particular thing that I have to choose this internship only, this NGO only. So yeah, I Googled and I saw that CRY was a pretty good place for getting your internship done. So yeah, that's why I chose CRY. And
Oh,
anyone can Google anything on Google and you'll find any NGO around your place also. You can like do your internship from there. That's not an issue.
what about you, Krisha?
So yeah, like for the 11th and 12th right now, don't focus on getting internships at all. Like right now, in terms of building our extracurriculars, you can just participate in your college fest and committees or anything. So when it comes to internships, you can do all of those after you crack IPM and get into an IPM program. So first of all, you just have to make a resume, and our college had intimated us that we have to find for an internship, and there was 1 month entirely given to it. So you go on. One thing is that you choose your domain and then find the NGO. Like I would want to work on like research only. So you find an internship according to that. And like Ishan said, the other thing is you find an NGO and then you choose the domain like from the options that they have. And most of the NGOs on their website itself, they have those sections where I join as a volunteer or join as an intern, and you can fill out those forms. They'll definitely reply. And one thing that I've seen is that when normal companies or anybody prefer that I am tag, so we get internships very fast. They don't have to struggle a lot.
Brand, naam hi kafi hai. But one thing which, yes, Sardar Rana, that's the answer. Naam hi kafi hai, as I just said. Does IIM tag help a lot while finding internship? Yes, it does. That is the reason why, IIM ka naam bahut, the brand has its value. Something which I am very curious to know when we are talking about internships, okay, which you did mention, Ishan, but I didn't ask any follow questions on that. You said that you would be kind of writing a report in terms of your internship. So is it something which they would be grading you on?
Yes, I had mentioned, right? That's why we have 6 subjects and 1 grade. Like the credit point is given to the internship, your report. It will be
Okay.
analyzed and corrected by the professors over there.
So with your internship, is there any kind of feedback which is taken from the NGO as well?
No, it's
No.
only
They give you a certificate of completion, which is
yeah,
necessary.
yeah, that's a
Okay.
mandate.
Okay. And is this particular grading kind of, even in your exams, is the grading very strict?
Yes, it's
I just like that smile Krisha has. Hey. Okay, it's going to be very strict in terms of grading. Okay, got it. Moving to the next question. What are the important suggested activities for building a profile while already having your 12 boards and IPM? Krisha, you just a while said something. Can you please kind of repeat?
So I was in NM college, which is a good thing because they have n number of clubs and committees. So if you don't get into one, you always have 10 other options that you can venture into. So take part, participate. So I was like I was into managing. I was a part of RCNM, so which helped, which is also a social organization. So that stands out in your Rotary Club or RC Rotary Club or whatever. And I was also part of Insight, which is the business fest of NM College. Apart from that, I used to participate in a lot of things. So all of those clubs and committees, they have their like they conduct their own events, and these can range from anywhere from Mr. and Miss Umang, which are cultural, to ad marketing, which are based on, or just tech-based events. There are a lot of opportunities. So go out, take part in all of those, because those are really going to help. They're going to ask you what were your positions of responsibilities in your previous college, or maybe you were just a CL for something that you managed a particular set of people. That's going to work. If you haven't done any internships, or you haven't start, like it's like you have to start your business or anything, that's not required. Just the bare minimum of you were just a part of a particular group, that also works.
Okay. Thank you so much, Krisha. That is actually very helpful. Adit is asking, of all the subjects that were assessed for IB Math examination, what were the toughest subjects according to you? They have answered this particular question, Adit. Ishan said calculus, if I remember correctly,
Yeah,
and Krisha mentioned statistics.
yeah.
I am focusing. So that are the subjects which actually they find or they found very, very difficult. Uh, Nidisha is asking how easy to exit the program after completing your UG. So if I understand correctly, Rohtak provides you certificate every year. Am I right in that?
I'm not sure about every year. We get a report of our marks. So
Okay,
we don't, I'm not sure because we've not yet got our final mark sheet.
you haven't
But
received.
at the end of 3 years, like if you want to exit, the exit options available. And yeah, they give you your BBA degree. Like if you want to exit and choose another place where you want to do your MBA from.
Yeah. So have you heard with your interactions? I'm not sure how much you would have interacted with your seniors, but have you heard any senior dropping out of Rohtak
Yes,
just to do MBA
I
from a better
Yeah.
IIM? They
So
have.
with our seniors of IPM batch 1, like they like go to their MBA first year this year. So out of like 150, 200 students, only like 10 of them have decided to leave the program. Rest, all of them, they're planning to do it from here only.
so some of them, and these are also a wide mix of people. So some of them are going to do their job because they want to do it from someone from out. Some of them have gotten admissions into IIM ABC, and one has dropped out because his venture is working out very well. So he does not want to complete his MBA from it.
Very nice. So I hope that has answered your question, Nidish. Now, what kind of Nidish also has been asking what kind of student mix do you get and what academic background do they majorly belong to?
Actually, honestly, if I'll speak, science and commerce in majority, like 35%, and arts, actually not 40 science, commerce, and 20 arts. But yeah, almost everyone's there, like from different backgrounds only. It's nothing like one place is favored, like commerce is more or science is more. But yeah, there are so many of my friends were like planning to do engineering. but they've chosen this because their maths is pretty good because they've been practicing for JE and all that, right?
Yeah.
And there are people from arts background also.
Great. I hope that has answered your question, Nidish. Anonymous attendee, do you have any language subjects in IIM Rohtak? Language?
In your second year, I told you, right, we have a compulsory extra language, and there's three of them. Currently, none of them we've like covered till now. But yeah, in your second and third year, we have that.
There's French, Arabic, and Mandarin.
Oh, wow. That's great. Shauryaman is asking, I'm not able to manage my practice time during the school and tuitions. Shauryaman, it is a difficult, time at this point when you are actually preparing. So what you need to do is possibly this might help you. Sit with a mentor, get your my plan, okay, and sit with your mentor and prepare a study plan for you. Ask your mentor how he would be able to help you, okay, in regards with preparing a study plan and religiously. ऐसा क्रॉस योर हार्ट करने का, जैसे मेरी डॉटर मुझे बोलती है, ऐसा क्रॉस योर हार्ट करो एंड रिलीजियसली फॉलो करो. खुद को प्रॉमिस करो कि ये स्टडी प्लान है, मैं उसको फॉलो करूंगा और रिलीजियसली फॉलो करूंगा. थिंग्स विल स्टार्ट वर्किंग. If it's not working, the approach is wrong. Change the approach, it will work. And if that is also not working, change the approach further till you find the right path, what you're looking at. Moving on and going on is the key. I hope that answers your question. Connect with a mentor and book your My Plan right now. It will be there on My IMS and it will help you. Right, Ishan and Krisha, you both have possibly used My IMS, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
One more question, one last question. After this, I don't really see any further questions here, so we will not really kind of stretch it further. 10th and 12th results are giving more importance on your IP math score?
Yes, they do have an important part.
Impact.
Yeah.
It's given in the selection criteria itself. So 20% 10, 20% 12, 35 for your, I think 45 for your entrance exam and 15 for the interview.
But
So even if your interview goes bad, but you have a 10th and 12th, which is very nice. So you'll
Okay, okay. This one chat box. Do they intend to complete the MBA program from Rohtak or try for a better IIM later? Parth is asking, IIM Rohtak se MBA karna hai or you're planning to kind of go to a better MBA? What are your future plans?
So I'm preparing for the CAT once again. So like I'm gonna be trying for a better IIM.
Yeah, even I'll start preparing for the CAT, and yeah, even I'll try. If I don't get any option, like yeah, IIM Rohtak is a good backup option.
Yes.
That's the main reason.
But I think in non-engineers, IPM students are the best because they have a lot of knowledge that they can present also. And the internships that we do, you have to pick out the right internships and create an experience for yourself. And I think we can fare. Other than other colleges, IPM students would be preferred.
When you have such a strong backup, you can look out. Anything beyond this would be good. Even what you are is good, but whatever you would get would ideally be better. So it's definitely a better situation. One question again, Nidish, what kind of board scores are acceptable? The better it is.
Yeah.
The more, the better. I hope.
Because how much more can you do? Like the cutoffs are increasing year and year.
Year and year, absolutely.
So I think 90 plus would be a good.
Zyada hai to better hai. Let me quote one more ad line. So Nidish, when it comes to the scores are concerned, scores definitely has weightage and it will be, the cutoff would definitely kind of go higher and higher. So make sure you study well. If there is any concern, any questions, please connect with your mentor. And one last quick question. Was the session good? Because we are now wrapping up. And, before that, you might find, these students on the campus. So if you recognize these two faces, just go and say hi to them. And with a quick raise of hand, did you enjoy the session? Just quick raise of hand. Okay, only 7 people, 8 people enjoyed. 9, 30, 40, 15, 18, 19. Only 19 people enjoyed out of 29. Oh, okay. Please give us a feedback in terms of what we can do better. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ishan and Krisha, for joining us today, taking out time from your busy schedule and speaking to our students. It was lovely connecting with you. And if anything we could help you out with in terms of your CAT prep, IMS is there. Please do connect. And for the rest of the students, if you are looking at any help in regards with your 23 admission process, if you need any help, any hand holding, please do connect with me on Telegram. And I am mentioning my email address. Okay, this is my email address. Email me, connect with me, just say hi on Telegram and we can connect and we can have a one-on-one in regards with your questions. Thank you so much.